ADHD and all that stuff. He battled, alcoholism, taking pills. And like I said, guys, if you want to know what he is or how to spell his last name, you can go on YouTube and YouTube him. It's Robin Lehner, Lehner. He played with the Buffalo Sabres. You can see when he was talking in his depressed mood. He was a bad goaltender. You can see it. And when he was on, he was one of the best, and he had a great comeback season last year with the Islanders. And he, basically revived his career there in New York. And I believe he's on a new team this year, guys. I'm not sure where he's at, but I don't think he's with the. He signed with a new team, so he's playing hockey somewhere else, changing the scenery again. But he's a much more confident goalie. So, guys, just because these guys are athletes doesn't mean that stuff like depression. And talking about depression and mental health, that's what. Again, I don't always like to talk politics on here, but that's something that in sports and in life, we got to hit hard because we've had too many incidents where mental health has been a problem, school shootings and public shootings and all that stuff. We got to help these people. We got to get help, now because you don't want, more of these incidents to happen. We need to start focusing on our people that have mental health issues, get them some help, and so that we can avoid issues like this. And where they can be the best person they can be when they get help and stuff like that. But again, guys, I'm still waiting on my guest who should be joining me. He, I guess, is on his way back from a church event. So I'm, again, still waiting on him to call in. Is there anything you guys want to talk about so far that I've touched on? Anything like that? Let me check and make sure I don't have. Tom Brady passes Peyton Manning for all-time passing yards. So Tom is now on top there. He has surpassed Peyton Manning, but has some work to do before he's going to surpass Drew Brees. So Tom Brady is now second all-time in passing yards, only behind Drew Brees. He passed Peyton Manning this evening. Again, guys, it's 5-3 in the Lightning game. I'm going to switch channels here real quick, and the football game is on a commercial. So I'm going to flip back to hockey real quick. Is there anything that, like I said, that anybody in Facebook Live wants to talk about? If you're on TalkShoe, hit me up there. If you're in the chat or whatever. I do, like I said, I know I have, I believe I have Adam waiting on the line there, or either that or Lewis. Like I said, I can't really talk right now. I have to wait until my guest calls in. But to kind of keep you on the upstart, guys, the Rays brought in Blake Snell. He got out of the inning, and now we go to the top of the fifth inning. The Astros are still up 4-1. Joey Wendell will be at bat. Garrett Cole has been lights out through 4. He was lights out the first game in game 2. He was lights out as well. So again, guys, I'm waiting on my guest to call in. I'm going to kind of watch the hockey game here as well. What's up with you guys? What anybody out there? Like I said, I got someone hanging on the line. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Hit me up in the chat here. If there's something that you guys want to talk about, we can do that. If there's anyone out there that's on from Dinwiddie Rifle Roller Derby, at the end of the show, I do a skater bio. Again, guys, they have a bout this upcoming Saturday, and I'll go through all the details with that when I do the skater bio. So again, guys, they're great. You want to go see them? They're awesome. I have this koozie with me, even though I don't drink. This is with me during every podcast. So there you go. Okay, I believe is this Steven?
Hey, Brad.
How are you doing, sir?
Yes, that's me. I'm doing
How's it
great.
going?
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, sir, for joining me this evening.
Well, thank you for asking.
You're welcome. So now I've heard, Mr. Gray, that you played minor league hockey for the Lightning. Did I hear that correctly?
No.
Okay.
No, I used to play professional soccer when the
Okay.
Lightning first had their camps down at the skating rink in Pinellas County. If they didn't have goalies in the summer, I filled in a few times, but that was about it.
Okay. So you played with the Rowdies, is that correct?
The U17 program, and then I
Okay.
played with the Stars when the NSL went under. Rodney Marsh was our coach for the first 2 years, and then I did some indoor soccer.
Okay. Okay. And now you did tell me earlier today you were working on a charity project with the Lightning with the church you're involved with?
Well, we're hoping the Lightning is going to attend. I meet with them this week for some prizes and hopefully find out if Brian Bradley or a couple of the other guys that like to play golf. I did a couple tournaments with him 20 years ago. Hopefully they'll attend the tournament on the 2nd of November.
I'm in that tournament, so I can't wait a chance to meet you. I will be in that golf tournament. I just got done playing in the sheriff's department one last month, and my team finished in 3rd place. We finished 2nd place the year before, so it's been fun. It's fun to win, but it's also fun to just play and know that the money that's being raised goes to good things, and money gets raised for good things. So that's my father. So that's how he got me. He asked me to play, so I haven't played golf with him in a long time, so I'm going to play with him. So I think he's very happy that I'm playing with him on the 2nd.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of times families are so busy they don't get a chance to actually get together in these days with two people working at home. And except for golf tournaments like this, we have a lot of father and sons that are playing in the tournament.
Okay. So the under 17, Mr. Gray. Now, can you? I mean, I'm not a huge. The only time I ever, and bear with me, I'm not a huge soccer fan. I do watch it when the World Cup is on and when the Olympics are on. And I work literally right down the road from Al Lang Field where the Rowdies play now. I have yet to go to a game. I'm going to try to get to a game either this year or next year. So you were in the under 17 program. So was this with the Rowdies before the mutiny, or was this after the mutiny? How?
This was the NASL. This is back when we were playing the Cosmos, California Surf, and teams like that.
Okay. So I mean, was there any big soccer stars in that league or in the league that was above you guys?
Oh yeah. I got to meet Pele.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We're talking. Rodney Marsh was the biggest ticket in Tampa at the time, and just a lot. Wes McLeod, Reno Agostinos, Mike Flannel. I mean, Winston DeBose. I was a goalie, so it was a really tough time for soccer, actually, for Americans. The NASL, one of the reasons why it didn't succeed, it was all foreign owned. A lot of people didn't know that at the time, but there was no American owners, and it was really a funnel for European players that were past their prime, and they were definitely trying to get soccer to be a big thing in the States. It's always been big for youth, but on a professional level, it just wasn't sold properly, and we only had to have one American on the team. So Winston DeBose was the goalie, and I would have been 3rd in line, but that's just how it was back then.
Okay. So, and I have to say this. I think the toughest position, and again, I don't watch soccer. I've never played the sport. It's got to be goaltender. You guys have a net that's 10 times the size of you. How difficult is it to play that position? Since you played that position.
It's just my nature. I was a catcher in baseball, goalie in soccer, goalie in hockey, linebacker in football. I just like things coming at my face, I guess. So, probably the hardest thing about being a goaltender is you got to be a goaltender to be a goalie. It's not something that you can just teach somebody. You got to have that in your design and in your giftings as an athlete that's what you like to do. That's first and foremost, and then just learning the game.
Because like I said, Mr. Gray, I've watched it on TV, and I think honestly now I think soccer is starting to become a big part, or becoming a bigger part, should I say, of the sports spectrum here in the States now. Now I know we all, I'm a huge football fan, so that's always, that seems to be. I know they call baseball America's pastime, but I think with the way that baseball has started to become kind of too slow, it's too long, the season draws out too long. Soccer, I think, is starting to become a little bit more, and I hate to say the word, but it being more accepted than it was before. I really think that, that's just my opinion. I mean, can you give me what you believe is going on with soccer in the States?
Well, I can tell you real simple. When it was first introduced as a professional sport in the United States, the American Soccer League is the oldest running soccer league in the country. It's been here since the 40s. When the NASL came about, it actually superseded over the top of the American Soccer League, which caused a little bit of a rift back then with fans, because those type of fans, which are your loyal fans, those are your real soccer fans, weren't sold on the NASL at first, and actually probably never were. Because it was pushed as a high-energy, fast. I mean, if you look at the best soccer song, probably one of the best sports songs ever written was the Rowdies song, and it was all about being fast and enjoyable, and all these goals are going to get scored. And when you go anywhere else in the world, it's not taught that way. It's a defensive game. It's like a game of chess, and once in a while you score. And if you go to South America and you go to Spain, the defensive stars are actually the biggest stars on the team for a fan base of real diehard soccer fans, or football fans they call it over there. And then here in the States, we tried to push it as a high energy scoring game. And what happened is they see games that are 2-1, 1-1. Right. Once in a while you saw 3-1, and then you got we used to have 50 to 70,000 people in the Rowdies games playing the Cosmo. It packed Tampa Stadium. It was amazing. But the lure of what the game really was sold wrong. It was sold wrong, and that's why the NASL actually went under.
Now, you said you were a goaltender. You put in for the Lightning. What years? I mean, was that during what years?
That's 92, 93. When they first started.
Okay.
Yeah, when they first started, they were over at the fairgrounds, and then their practice rink was the only rink in the area at the time. It's off of Alderman. Down in Clearwater. It's changed names, but the gentleman who used to own that is the guy who runs the penalty box at the Lightning games. He's been doing it ever since they started. I can't remember his last name, Grubinowski, but his daughter was an Olympic hopeful figure skater, and he built that rink basically for her. And the Lightning had their camps there. So like most sports, and probably one of the reasons I became a goalie in hockey was you play for free. Most of the time in most rinks, because they don't have enough goalies. So it's good to be the goalie in hockey, especially in because it's so expensive to play. So the Lightning, during the off season, Bradley and those guys, they want to train, but you got goalies that are from Canada and Czechoslovakia and Russia. There's nobody around to play goalies. So I played on the travel team for them, and actually I was supposed to be on the draft in 1979 for hockey, because I was actually a bigger hockey star than I was a soccer player in New England. And because we moved to Florida, I missed my last year of high school hockey, because it was really the only way to get noticed in the States in the 70s. You weren't allowed to play junior A. You weren't allowed to be drafted from the States to go be on any of the WHL teams. It just didn't happen.
Okay.
There was no goalies playing in the NHL that were American in the 70s. And not till Craig, our Olympic goalie, he only lasted 6 months in the NHL. So it wasn't, an aspiring thing that I thought I could do. So once I found out I was going to get on the draft for hockey, I just stuck with hockey. I stayed as a non-paid, even though you still get paid, but we didn't say that, under the table, because I was trying to make the Olympic team, and that in the 70s you still had to be a non-professional to make the Olympic team. So a lot of autographs, a lot of fun. A few games. I did play in a team with the Stars. We were the only American team that ever beat Hamburg, Germany. but none of us